Bible truth, line by line, in context, 5-minute lessons. Let's go. Welcome to Bible Bites. All right, guys, the 5-minute lesson starts now. All right, guys, so we left off with Romans 4:10, and Paul was revealing to the Israelites a missed concept, right? Something that they had overlooked, which was that Abraham was a Gentile when he received the blessings of righteousness from God. And the reason why he wants to hammer this home, that he makes it of utmost importance for them to know, is because of two concepts that he has introduced to them that are strange and foreign to the teachings that they've been raised up in as Jews. And the first concept is that to be a Jew has nothing to do with ethnicity nor nationality. It is not either an outward sign of circumcision. It is actually an inward circumcision of the heart and spirit, which is completely against the concept that they have been brought up in, right? And the second point was that grace by way of faith, without works, without deeds of the law being introduced, was not a new, strange, or just made up concept that Paul is giving to them. He's showing them that it's actually the root, the very root of their entire belief system, and that it is completely biblical and was foretold by the prophets of old in scriptures that they profess to trust. Remember, the Jews were boasting and resting in the law and their relationship with God. So he's showing them that the relationship that they thought they had or thought they were supposed to have was not the correct path. Come on, man. All right, so we're going to pick up there. Now, the text shows here the Jewish nation would come to his sons, Abraham's sons. He was not Jewish, right? Once again, Paul is showing the Jews that they were boasting and resting in the wrong things, the wrong doctrines, the wrong pathway. Romans 4:11. Now, Paul continues to clarify Abraham's truth here. So Abraham was counted righteous as a Gentile, and then he was given a sign, a symbol of the true circumcision Paul reveals here in Romans 3:29. That's that spiritual and heart circumcision, hard to say, sorry. So this sign of circumcision was a seal of the righteousness Abraham received as a Gentile. Why? So Abraham could be the father of all who believe God. Look at the text. Doesn't that track so completely with the context that we've established since Romans 1, since the very beginning? You see how the bumper lanes of these questions, these contextual questions that keep popping up, have kept us on a path that reveals the truth on a regular basis. Man, I love this. Now, check it out. Even uncircumcised Gentiles, right? They're under this umbrella of Abraham. The text actually reads, though they be not circumcised. So remember, only inward circumcision is counted for your Jewishness, for lack of a better way to say it. But remember this too, Romans 2:10, nobody is righteous. Therefore, nobody is circumcised. Once again, this shows the gospel truth of Christ is the only way to salvation. See how the scripture's just locking down the truth now? Look, Romans 4:12, right? Abraham, though, right, was also father to the circumcision, i.e. the Jews. So if, look at the text, right? There's a condition here. If they also walk in the steps of faith, Abraham walked as a Gentile. Again, we're seeing that faith is the way to God, not deeds. And it's Old Testament backed up. Come on. Romans 4:13. Paul further explains that the law did not promise Abraham. Again, the law did not promise Abraham would be heir to the world. It didn't make that promise, the law. That promise came through the righteousness of faith. And we proved in the past videos that righteousness is a person. Come on. And you know who it is because we proved it too. It's Jesus Christ. So righteousness of faith. is who the promise will come through. Now remember, Romans 1:18 tells us the wrath of God is against our ungodliness and unrighteousness, and it's good and just to believe in God. So when you roll into 4:14, Paul states that if the heirs of the world are of the law, then the promise, the powered by faith promise, is voided and then has no power. So remember, Romans 4:4 says the reward is reckoned of debt, not grace, if we work for salvation. So Romans 4:15 tells us then the law worketh wrath. And we know this, but let's walk through it, right? Remember, Romans 3:20, sin is revealed by the law. Romans 1:32, we know the judgment for sin and still do those things. Remember Romans 2:6, God will render to every man according to his deeds. Remember 2:10, Romans 2:10, glory, honor, peace to all who do good. Remember Romans 3:10 through 12, but there are none who do good. So, without the law, you cannot be punished. How do you transgress a law that does not apply to you or does not exist? Supporting freedom from law and death come by grace through faith in Jesus Christ. Let's go. This is Bible Bites. I'm out.